Hey, what it do, boo boo? It's your boy Traj with another Rogue Company video. Today's video, I've had a lot of people in my comments over the past few weeks asking, for tips or advice or just ways that they could get better at the game. It's just not clicking and there's nothing you can do. You should probably delete the game. I'm just kidding. So what I did is made 25 tips and tricks for beginners and advanced players. So players of all tiers will benefit from this. If you implement, what I talk about in this video, you will improve instantly. Today when you hop on, you will feel better at the game. If you're already a decent, respectable player and you watch this video, this could give you the edge to, be able to play with top tier players. So hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, hit that notification bell. I can't stress enough how much I appreciate, you guys who come in here and like the video and comment right away. That's what helps my videos get recommended, and that's why my channel is growing. So thank you all so much. I hope y'all are having a great day so far. Hopefully I can make it a little better. Let's hop into it. So the way we're going to do this, I have 25 tips and tricks written down right here. So I'm going to go through each one, not in any order. They're not ranked. You guys got me fucked up if you think I'm doing that. But what I'm going to do is go through and give my own explanation on, ways to apply this, and take what you want from this. Some of these might sound obvious. Some of these might be something so simple that you never thought of, or some of these might just be tricks that, genuinely will just help you out. So sit back, enjoy. Again, they're for beginners and advanced players, so I'm just going to go through each one.
Starting off, guys, number one, we have hip fire. So knowing when to aim down sights versus hip fire is something you need to figure out as soon as possible. Each rogue's a little bit different. The aiming mechanics when you're hip firing is a little bit different. You might want to mess with the dead zones a bit, but you have to master this because close range fights, aiming down sights, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Number two, map knowledge. So having an exact idea where your enemies can filter in from, knowing best ways to flank, and the same as every video game you guys have ever played. Repetition, map knowledge, it will give you the edge. Make sure you're paying attention as you play, understanding the mini-map. It's only going to get you better. Number three, revive your teammates. So I know pretty much right now if there's no Saint or Dahlia, you're not getting rezzed, and that's something that I think could change. I understand it's hard to res sometimes and it's risky. I'm not saying always force it, but I think in general the whole community would benefit if we just started rezzing a little bit more. So if it's open, go for it. Don't waste your time. Stick reses. If you hear them approaching, stick it, and then you still have a 2v1, things like that. Number four, listen for footsteps. This game's audio is way better than most. You can hear enemies approaching. You can hear if they're, holding the corner behind you. You can hear if they're rotating on the other side of a building. So use that to your advantage. Too many people spend too much time talking in game chat and shit like that. Just listen. It'll tremendously improve how you play. Number five, play your role. So every single rogue has specific kits, things that they're able to do. Once you master this and you start exploiting it, you'll realize that this is the way to win. Play your rogue the way they're designed to, and it makes the whole team's life easier. Number six, and arguably the most important tip of the entire video, is headshots. So you want your initial reaction to aim to the head. You want your muscle memory, as soon as you engage in a gunfight, to go straight for the head. Always aim high, chest and above. Every fight I get in, I'm going for the head. That's just how that was my mindset when I first started playing this game. So as soon as you start playing today, every fight you get in, go for the head. Over time, it'll be your immediate reaction, and that's how you're going to fucking just get better and better. Number seven, practice all rogues. So just because your favorite streamer plays a specific rogue, or you saw a video and you thought it looked cool, it doesn't mean that should be the rogue that you're playing every day. Figure out what works with your playing style. There's a lot of different rogues. There's a lot more to come. So I promise you, just figure it out. Take your time, go in the shooting range, practice different rogues, find what works for you. Number eight, use your mini-map. This is something that a lot of people don't seem to do. I've actually heard quite a few people talk about it, but just from past games I've played, I'm always using my mini-map. It just gives you intel, corners, where they're shooting from, and it's something that the longer you go without it, it's just going to only put you at a disadvantage. So start using your mini-map. It really, you'd be surprised how much information you'll gain from it. Number 9, shop purchases. So before each round, knowing what you want to buy based on the map or based on the rogue is very important. As Lancer, I buy a grenade for the first round for demolition, every single time, and then by round 2, I'm able to buy a gun. But each rogue's different, and try different things, look up on the internet what works. But Number 10, add skilled players. So if you run into a good player, whether he's on your team or the opponent, add him to your friends list. Rank's going to come out any day now, and I promise you're not going to want to be in there solo. So you're going to want to have players, to choose from. So everybody who's good, add them. Number 11, don't get tilted. And this kind of applies to life in general, but also this game in particular. If games aren't going your way, you guys are losing, your team's starting to argue, just hop off for the day or fucking play a different game, change the game mode. Just don't keep playing when you're tilted. It doesn't lead to anything good ever.
This will help.
Number 12, find and master your favorite rogue. So there's so many different options. There's a lot of rogues that you can unlock, and they're expensive. So do a little bit of research and figure out who you really like. And don't get decent with 8 different rogues. Get really, really good at 1 or 2 rogues, and then move on to the next. I promise that's how you're going to want to approach it. Number 14, play objective. So I promise your stats will be better if you play objective. The opponents will funnel right to you. You're able to understand the map better. You'll pick up on metas. So just play objective. You'll find yourself being in the right place at the right time more often than not. Number 13, challenge gunfights. So you have to take chances. To get better, you have to be in gunfights and things like that. So you can see here I'm about to challenge this team 1v4, and I end up winning, and it's because I challenged it. You don't want to sit back like a little bitch. You want to run in, get in gunfights. That's how you get better, and sometimes you end up getting a glorious clip like this. Number 15, adjust your settings. So this is for binding, sensitivity, dead zones. I highly recommend, checking out some videos. I actually have one I posted last week. But, go to the shooting range and just practice. Adjust the dead zones and then, increase then decrease and see what the difference is. But definitely adjust your settings. Get creative with it. Don't do anything too crazy, but, try new things. Figure out what it is that makes your game a bit better. Number 16, watch good players. So you can pull up your phone at any time, go to Twitch or YouTube, and watch players who are doing scrims or montages. Depending on what you're interested in. But there's do what successful people are doing. That trick's as old as time. For life in general. But go watch good players, see what guns they use, see how they're using the barbed wire, see how they're using rogues. I used to think Trench sucked, and then I saw G-Nash, and I'm like, holy shit, Trench is one of the best rogues in the game. So it definitely opens your mind quite a bit. Number 17, crouch spam. So I know you've all ran into that crackhead who's, teabagging while he's shooting and jumping around and shit, and it's because he's cracked, and every game that there is, movement is key. So just making yourself a bit harder of a target to hit, it will improve your gameplay. So definitely, change some bindings around if you have to, but being able to spam crouch while you're in a gunfight, it will help. I know it's a little weird to get comfortable with, but that's what the shooting range is for. Number 18, positioning yourself based on what rogue you're playing. So there's short range guns, there's long range guns. If you're playing Saint, then you want to be in a position where you're going to get in long range fights. If you're playing Lancer, then you don't want to find yourself in long range fights, or you're going to get smoked. So positioning yourself based on that, it's a little bit harder sounding than it is, but once you start applying it and once you're conscious of it, I think your game will improve. Number 19, keep the vibes up. All of us have our own day-to-day lives, whether it's work and school, whatever we do, and then after we hop on the game to play, the last thing you want to do is let this thing piss you off. If you're getting better, just, get better at the game. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to the point where you're not having fun. If you're playing with a team or you're playing with your buddies, arguments are going to happen, that's inevitable, but just keep the vibes up. Clean slate going into the next match. You don't want to get tilted. The name of the game is to have some fun while improving, so let's make sure we're doing that. Number 20, know what rogues you're up against. So having knowledge, on the game is going to help. So if you're going against a Saint or a Dahlia, then you might need to push the down a little more aggressively than if you're not. And same on your team. If you know that you have a Saint, try and stay alive after you're downed. Or if you go against a Chalk, make sure you finish them. It sounds simple and obvious, but you'd be surprised. Some people probably aren't doing it. Number 21, use your rogue's kit. You know, every single rogue in this game has something that gives them an edge, you know, makes them unique, and also helps, you know, the team win. So if you're Anvil, drop your shield. If you're Dima, you know, blow up the point. Make sure you guys are using your abilities. Number 22, use game chat. So when ranked comes out, this will be more important, but you know, just put in your mic, talk to these people. I know it's mostly strangers, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people are just sitting there on mute because no one else is talking. Once, you know, as long as you're keeping the vibes up and you're making call outs, they're gonna do the same, and you're just gonna suddenly start winning more. Number 23 is use the goddamn shooting range. So I'm in there every single day, not for much time, but just when I practice new things, whether it's adjusting settings or, you know, crouch spam practice, practicing shooting on the left shoulder, whatever it is that you want to get better at, go to the shooting range. You know, there's a lot that you can experiment with, and, you know, every single player can get a little better at something, so might as well go in there a few minutes a day, practice something new. Number 24, use the mini-map when flashbanged. So this is something that I just found out on my own, but when you're flashbanged, obviously your whole screen's white, but your mini-map doesn't go anywhere. You can still see it, so you're able to, you know, look up at your mini-map, know that you can run straight, take a left, and you're actually going to be able to evade, whereas before you probably get flashbanged and you just sit there waiting to get cucked. Last but not least, tip number 25 is practice. Whether you're new to the game or whether you think you're an expert, there's so many different things that you can get better on. Go into each day with an open mind, you know, watch some of your favorite streamers or YouTubers, you know, pick up things, ask them questions, try new metas, practice different strategies. Always look to improve, guys.
I'm on the objective.
Planning A. But there you go, guys, 25 of what I think are the most important tips and tricks that if you implement, you will improve immediately. If you guys enjoyed, you know, this one did take a bit more effort than most, so, you know, that support does mean the world to me. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm not going to show you the rest of this match because it's another YouTube video I'm working on. This game is actually nuts, but I love y'all. Peace out.
Half their stories, they be made up. I can't believe in cap